I think it's wonderful that we get invited by these people, and I mean, it's hard to say, but 65 years, you come here and you're treated like this, people want to give you kisses, the women want to give you kisses, the men want to shake your hands. I mean, it brings a lump to your throat, really. It does. And as I say, everyone treats you well. And well, what else can we say in that respect? It's, I suppose Jim is the same. I mean, we talk between one another, and as we say, how we treated, really, really well.
And are you going to go on the tour tomorrow as well?
Yes. Oh, we won't miss it, even if it rains. We won't miss it.
Yeah.
It's great, as I say, everyone cheering you.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It is really something. Plus a meeting the mayors of these different places we go to, and the privilege. Yeah, privilege.
You guys are getting famous. I saw you in the newspaper.
That's right.
We are.
And not like a tabloid newspaper, and not like on the 6th page. No, you were on the front page.
Yes,
page,
that's right.
Yeah.
On the balcony, it was almost like a royal.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice. For most kids nowadays, they play war games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, probably you guys did as well when you were little children. But nowadays, if you look at the computer games, they're so graphic.
Yeah.
I think if people like you guys tell them what it was like the war, then they will think different about it. Because now then they play computer games and all they're interested in is the high score, how many people they kill.
But mind you, in England, I found lately, because I've got grandchildren and stuff like that, but I found that most schools now are giving lessons or asking the youngsters not what they think about the war, but explaining to them what the war was about, and they come home to me and ask me different things and all that, and I have to tell them the blah 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 of the war. But they're showing more interest. I mean, they still play the war game, as you say, but they still want to know what happened, what we was doing. So, which is, I think it is a good thing. I mean, I hope they never have to go to war again. I mean, ourselves, Jim, as you say, we've had bad times. We had some good times because we got friends. Once you're in with a crowd, we're all friends and that, and we've had good times as well as bad. That's all I say. And just had to take it. So
We sometimes go round the schools and we tell the children all about the war, what the conditions was like, how you went to the toilet in the front line, how the Russians came up, what the situation was about, and they seemed most interested. We take armaments with us. We take a Bren gun, machine gun, rifles, grenades, and we dress up the children in the uniforms of the German army, and we then tell them what it's all about, and then we come to the serious part of telling them that there shouldn't be wars as such in the future. But we show the children all the Holocaust, and they seem very interested. For ourselves, we find ourselves, we get a bakshi dinner from the canteen in the school. And we've got all the photos of our what we did in the war, and they seem most interested. Sometimes our ex-chairman of our branch, he formed his own association, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and he's brought children over to Normandy, not this year, but every year but this year, he's taken children over to Normandy and shown them what it was all about, and they seem most interested. They see all the different battle scenes, etc., and they seem to rather like it, you know. But this year, of course, he's not taken them over for some reason. I don't know. Probably shortage of funds or something. I don't know. But we tell them what it was like, you know, personally, what our experiences were. Being as I was in the PBI, that's the Poor Bloody Infantry, if you like to say, I've got probably more to tell them what it's all about than somebody that wasn't. Different positions I was in and escapes that I had, and etc., and they seemed most interested. As part from my service in Holland, in part of Holland, we was on the Escaut Canal, and we didn't know at the time that we was what they call what's the name for anyway, we was on the Escaut Canal, and it was only about 3 of our battalions got across, and there was no supporting artillery or anything, and we was used as a decoy, if you like, because when we were pulled back over the Escaut Canal, the parachuters came down on our left as we came out from the bridgehead, and from there we went through Wilkinson, Eindhoven, and then we were stopped on the road. I can't tell you where it was, but I know it was going north. We went left and went through a village called Best. The Germans were there at Best, and we was there for, say, about a week, and then we were pulled back up towards Sint-Oedenrode. From Sint-Oedenrode, we was pulled out of the line, and we had our first big rest, a 3 weeks rest in a farmhouse in the place called Bokel. The 3rd Division was there at the same time. They went before us out back to the line, and then they opened the attack to clear the Scheldt and the rest of Holland up towards Tilburg, Sint-Oedenrode, and we went through those places, and we went up to a place called Blerick, which is opposite Venlo on the Maas. We dug in there, and after that we moved from there further over to the left of a place called Ruth or Musbury, and we was dug in on the Maas for the winter, and from there we came out after about 4 weeks, and we were sent back in open trucks down to Belgium in a place called Cremont. We was there 5 days. Then we was moved up to Tilburg, which we'd liberated in October the 26th, 1944. And we was billeted in Tilburg for 3 weeks, and then from there we went up to Nijmegen, and from there we went into the attack in the Rhineland through Groesbeek into Germany. That is my experiences in Holland. We was different places in Holland. For instance, when we took Tilburg in October, we was rushed over right across the corridor to a place through Helmond. I can't remember the next name. Up to a place called Majel, and we was dug in on Majel and pushed the Germans back out of Majel, and then the attack, as I say, went in, and we cleared right up through Vorst, Sevenum, Musbury, Ruth, and up to Brennick. And I have to say, as we pulled out from Tilburg in February. That was the last of our experiences in Holland. I did get an accident in the Rhineland, and by the time I came back, we came back through Genep, and we was camped outside of Nijmegen when the war was finished. Since then, I have not been back to Holland. I only came home on leave from the Hook of Holland, and I never ever came back to Holland since that time. Only since last September, when I came over for the operation up to the Arnhem. Got very, very memorable positions I flew in Holland. I mean, I was at Weert, so many different villages and different times and different positions. I did have, luckily, I had 3 weeks in December in Blerick for a refresher for a signals course, and I went back to Helmond, and I saw really how the other half lived. They had a big naffy there. They had all the troops in there, and I didn't know exactly what they did. I mean, we never saw anything like it in the front line. But I used to go to the naffy every night, and be a pianist. They had a pianist on the stage, or piano, and the regiment sergeant, the RASC that ran the naffy, got the girls to come up on the stage and gathered them all around the piano, and they used to sing the Dutch songs on the stage for every night that I was there for the 3 weeks. So that is really my story. I can't put it all in, but I know it was very cold at times, especially on the Mars. It was about 6 foot of snow, and you had a dugout like the First World War. Logs over the top, 4 old stoves inside, and a blanket over the covering. You either went in there to keep warm and get all fumes of the old stoves down your throat, or you went out into the cold air and sat outside cold up in one corner to try and keep warm. Yeah. I always found that if you was in a hole or a ditch, somehow you got some protection from the cold. If you could cover yourself up, and you had your gas cape, and if you covered that over yourself, it sort of kept some of the cold off, because that's how you had to sleep anyway. If you was on guard at night time, it was 1 hour per man off, 1 hour on, and it went like that all night long. And but if you wasn't on this guard, you had to curl yourself up into the corner of the dugout and screw yourself up as tight as you could, put the gas cape over yourself, and hope that you get a good night's sleep. In the morning, you had a standpipe. Where the standpipe came from, I could never fathom out, but it was a cold standpipe and like a tin shack. And all the chaps used to get out, all covered in dirt, hadn't got a shave for about 3 weeks, and you used to have to wash in this ice cold water, and you had the snow piled up outside you. One daren't have a shave because there was no hot water. You couldn't shave when you got stubble out there. And as I say, we was there for quite some time in that position. The only thing I can say about the position was that whether it was what they call a mutual truce, I don't know. But if you was in Blerick, every time you moved, or the vehicle moved, the Germans used to fire the mortars onto the crossroads every time they heard a little noise. But when you was in the woods to the left, you never heard a sound, night or day. It was almost static.
Both parties were probably tired of fighting, maybe.
Yes. So they didn't fire anything, we didn't fire anything.